Welcome to the new now high-end Highness Wow Factor Evolution. I am Majesty AliNICOLE. Wow. Thank you for joining me for this segment. And I want to speak with you today about giving pause on free mentoring or just stopping completely on free mentoring and start to level up to really go in on your high-end calling in this new format. So the reason why I want to emphasize this is because a lot of times people seem to think mentoring means free, and that's not always the case. And several of you have been doing free mentorship for quite some time. Now, that's okay, and you've had your season for that. So there is a season where I do believe you should be paying it forward. Trust me, I have been a benevolence angel for a very long time, and most will tell you that I have definitely over delivered in the free category that should carry over into multiple lifetimes. Um, but you have to have balance, but also there's a time when you need to give pause on that or not be doing it at all. And because it's vibrationally kind of messing you up if you aren't already in the high end bracket a certain way and you're really trying to level yourself up in that way, when you are not allowing divine right value exchange to take place, and especially in a way that accumulates over time, it's working against you, all right? And some of you are wondering why you can't get ahead in terms of what you've been putting your time into, and the next level that you know is there, it's unfolding, but for some reason it just seems like there's a lot of delays around that. And some of it is because you are exhausting resources that you don't actually have the capacity to no longer be able to provide in that way. So it's working against you. So this is the time where you need to start leveling up your mentorship agenda and start actually charging and creating a high level mentorship program. And one of the publications that I have for the new high end branding zone effect, it actually provides some context in terms of how you get started with creating high level mentor programs and being able to understand that within the mentorship, yes, there's coaching, there's consulting, there's a combination of how you leverage your skills in your advising, so to speak. But you have to be clear in terms of your mentorship aspect. Now, there are several ways that if you haven't been charging for mentorship, okay, and you want to lean into it. So you can have scholarship programs if you don't already. You can, if you want to pay it forward, so to speak, you can still provide some benevolence, but I would put a fee on it at this point that they need to pay something, even if it is what they can pay, but don't stay in that field too long either. This is a time where you really have to go all in on this new now high-end calling aspect, and everything that you have provided, or you, if you still want to provide something that supports people at the free level, then I'm going to encourage you to create a specific platform, and not a platform that you pay for a domain, a platform, let's say like Blogger or a Tumblr or Live Journal, one of those platforms that you create specifically for an initiative, and it gives people the opportunity to sort of self-coach and guide themselves. So even if you were robust with content on there, but then you just built that site. So that is it. People can mentor themselves in a sense, or leverage playlists that you have on YouTube where you've done empowerment, you've done several things, or if you have blog posts or articles that you've written, create some type of archive or some type of training hub for individuals to be able to do it themselves, and then put some lower hanging fruit products on there, whether it's publications, digital downloads of things that are of a small fee, but again, put it where it can be self-serving to individuals. Like something I did over several years span of time is I created over 1,000 online platforms. So a lot of people know that about me. And some of those platforms have very little content on them, but they have publications and lower hanging fruit types of offers. And then a lot of the publications that I create are in journal style formats. And so it's a modest amount of content, but very impactful in message. But it helps people to bring the information out of them because most of them are written in interactive, intentional journal style formats where I'm not inundating them with a lot of information. I set it up where they have to do the work. And you're going to have to put people in a position where they literally have to do the work. Because one thing I noticed over the years about when you give of yourself freely so much, people don't really value it. They can say that they do, and in the beginning, maybe they do, but I think when you continue on and on in that, you start creating this ripple and vibration where it's kind of expected and people start feeling entitled. And then you gravitate more people to you that want to participate with you at the free level. And again, it's blocking you up from being able to move forward. It's not that it didn't benefit you at some point to be doing that and to be giving, but you really have to reposition the way that you're giving. And again, the internet has kind of spoiled everyone because there's so much free content out there, right? But, even though that's so, you have to reposition how you do what you do. And so that people don't have this expectation. So, as I mentioned, you can create a platform where it is free content, maybe, like I said, blog posts that you've had or articles, and you put them on there, some YouTube playlist or different videos or podcast features, create some type of hub where people can avail themselves to that. That's not you exhausting your time, so to speak, of giving your free airtime away. Yeah. So, with that being said, I want to come back to you starting to think about creating a high-end mentorship program. Because if you know or notice that a lot of the most successful people, they've had mentors, and a lot of them actually paid their mentors. There are several people who travel to pay their mentors. They travel to wherever that mentor is, and they come and have the benefits, from that experience. And so again, a lot of times people think mentoring means free. No, it doesn't. It can. I mean, just like coaching or consulting can mean free or can be delivered in a free format, but you have to actually cease and desist on doing that, especially if you are not reaching the goals that you desire. Things have really changed and things have really shifted. And sometimes, of course, who you've given free time to, maybe your reward, if you want to call it that, doesn't come from those people. But I think you do work against yourself tremendously when you don't have boundaries and put some limitations on it. Something else I want to bring up is that you also have to make sure that you're not operating out of your ego, because sometimes false humility or how we think and believe that we should be giving, a certain way. But again, a lot of you don't really have to give what you think you have to give or what you're giving. And a lot of you are frustrated because you're not seeing kind of some reward for what you've done. It's just the return on investment just doesn't, pan out. And again, I know people are saying, well, no, you shouldn't do things with expectation that you're going to receive something from that, because if you give, then you're giving because you're just giving a gift. Yes, that is true. However, there has to be balance when you are in business. It does depend on what you are giving. What level are you giving? But also too, there needs to be some level of an expectation in terms of the people that you are sowing into. Are they producing results based on what you've been delivering? Or are you just spending time giving of yourself, sharing information, and they're not really doing anything with it? And you have to you have to look at these things. I've had to coach and mentor others in this area where, yes, when you're giving your time away for free, then there needs to be some level of expectation in terms of the people whom you are rendering your services to. You can't let them just be just kind of out there just doing their own thing with it. No, if they want self-study and want to do it at their own pace, then they don't need to be on your watch doing that. That's why, as I mentioned, build sites, create platforms, create products where they can do that themselves, not on your free time. That's not the level of mentoring that you are supposed to be doing at this level. Maybe you've done it, but let me just say that your season for that is it's up, it's over, and you're gonna have to accept that if you really want to meet your goals for sure. But not only that, I talked about divine right value exchange. Okay, divine right value exchange is when it is a divine thing. There's going to be the win-win, equal compensation. And compensation shows up in many different ways. All right. So I'm not just always talking about just the monetization aspect, but people have to realize that time is currency, right? Time is currency. And when you give of your time, you can't actually get that back. See, money, you can give away money or so, and you can make money. You can make money again. You can lose it and produce it again. Time is a little bit different, or a lot different, I should say. But time is a currency, and we have to be mindful of the stewards that we are and having good time stewardship. And the saying, time is money, money is time, yeah, true. Again, time is currency. So you can't really afford during this phase of your journey in evolution into a new high-end way of being to be giving away your time and your services and it not be the divine right value exchange. Now, if you have people that have been in your world and you have been servicing them and they are producing results, I would still look at, if you're not charging, there needs to be a point where you actually are charging them or putting them on some type of scholarship. There has to be some type of pay or something. And I know people do bartering and things like that, and that can work for some time, but I really want to encourage you to shift out of the old paradigm, because that is a system. And I've been a part of that system. That is a system that keeps you thinking, well, I should be doing this, because if I do this, then eventually this is going to happen. But most of you will see that that's actually not what's taking place. And when that was taking place, it's been some time ago. Things have changed. We are in a new now testament in terms of the way that how we live our lives and our life's purposes, how those are facilitated. We have to be mindful things have shifted. We have to be better stewards. So going back to the mentorship aspect, and I'm going to close out here, is you have to start thinking in terms of even mentoring millionaires. Do you have to be a millionaire in order to mentor a millionaire? Absolutely not. You can coach millionaires without being one. And also, too, if you feel that you are on your journey to becoming one in this new high-end format, so to speak, I have resources within the description that you can explore where you can take yourself through a journaling prompt type of experience where you're creating a millionaire experience for yourself. And then you can certainly coach others along the way with that. Now, creating a millionaire experience is not it's not the same as being a millionaire, but does it lead to that? It definitely can. But I tell anyone, just like with the high end, you have to actually be high end before you actually are high end, meaning you have to be preparing yourself, already thinking and acting and being in that way and creating the experience. You can have $0 in the bank and have a billionaire vibration or a millionaire vibration, and then be able to have that experience happen for you, both from the financial aspect and the experiential. But you definitely have to create the experience for yourself. So going back quickly to the mentoring aspect is that you have to already see and be acting like a millionaire mentor. But in order to do that, you definitely have to shift from being a free mentor or even a low paid mentor, so to speak. You really have to change the game because people will value you differently. Because if you are actually helping people and you've been helping them to get results and they are benefiting and they're making money and they're not paying you and they're just thinking, oh, well, you're just so nice, thank you, and they're giving you a little something here and there. No, you need to change the game on that. You have to change the rules. You have to be able to step up and value yourself more. All right, because they're benefiting. And yeah, you may be benefiting too by being helpful and being benevolent, and again just saying, well, I didn't bring them into this or tell them that they would have to pay. Sometimes things change. Sometimes things change. If you think about it, even certain things that you make investments in, and then they have in the fine print, prices are subject to go up. And even if they didn't, their company, they get to change the rules. And if people decide they don't want to play and participate anymore with that, then guess what? They can move on because you've already given of yourself. And most of the time, people you would think would find it only right to compensate you for what you've been doing for them. They'll go out and actually pay someone else who will demand the prices, or so they'll pay them and won't pay you. And some of you have been experiencing that. But what I'm saying to you is, again, this is the season where you have to make the shift. You have to shift and be all in on this new high-end calling because it's a divine thing and it has to be divine right value exchange. So again, I have resources within the description that you can explore. And I hope that this has been beneficial to you just in terms of empowerment and in getting you to really think. Yes, mentoring does not mean free. Again, it can, but it doesn't have to. And several people charge hundreds of thousands of dollars even for a weekend to be mentored, by the greats or however, but you are that as well. So, no, maybe you don't jump out doing that, but you need to start leaning into thinking more in the higher end way, even in the older format. I would even say, even in the older format, you can do that. But in this new now high end type of experience, the evolution, I want each of you to be present and ask, what is the evolution of my journey? What is the evolution of who I have become that now positions me to be this millionaire or multimillionaire, or even billionaire, or just high end type of mentor, right? To transform my freebies into fortunes, which I have a whole platform and work and courses around the freebies metamorphosis, freebies into fortunes metamorphosis, and there'll be information in the description about that as well. All right. So I believe in you, and I know that it is the higher divine plan for you to start to soar and start to shift and change the way that you've been doing things. You're in a leveling up season. You're not in the fullness of what you will be, but you have to start now transitioning into that grander context of your best, highest version of yourself, that's able to carry out this new, now high end way of being. All right. So, wishing you the best. And as always, thank you for joining me. And again, look in the description, there's information and resources there. And I look forward to being back with you soon. And until then, take care and stay blessed.